Bundi, that's my account name on GitHub and Twitter, but I don't really use it. And we'll talk about a bit about coding styles and the consistency of the style. And it'll be a bit of a story, but first something like a sleep talk, sleep story. You know, you see the code. Oh, we cannot actually see. There's actually a line there down through the object that denotes the end of end of a line, like 100 line. That as this is Java code and it uses Google style, there's a 100 character line restriction that you should follow. If it was like any other language or any other rule, so that's the problem, because when you work in team and your team have to follow some of the rules, you have to decide on a set of rules that you will use. It does not actually matter which one you will choose, like whether you will allow one line ifs, or maybe you have always put braces there, as there's a Google code style in Java. Or JavaScript, it is usually allowed to put ifs in one line. The first one, where there's a if body, when there's just one statement and it's on the next line. This one mostly not used in Java world, but it is usually used in Linux kernel, for example. You see there, like always, it is allowed there.
I guess we now have some new names for the brace styles.
But actually, the thing is, this should not be present in one code base, because the code base must be consistent. That's one of the rules that you will be able to maintain it properly, as most likely you will not be the only one who will read the code and who will maintain it. Actually, most likely you will not be the one who will maintain the code across its life. So there are people who will have to read your code. So maintenance is pretty important in any language. It does not matter actually you write for Java, Node.js, Google kernel, whatever. So usually those policies are enforced in a project that uses review. So when not only you're not allowed to commit directly to master branch if you were talking about Git, as it's all like typical projects right now in the real world uses Git or some sort of version system, maybe the legacy ones, the SVN or others, as they have used them before, even before the Git existed or whatever. And usually there are reviews of code or some time reviews. And you don't want people to be afraid of your code and say, what the hell is that? Because it's important, for all of the people who work on code to be satisfied with the code, at least not be afraid to read it and don't want to even touch it. If anything breaks, not only one person should be able to fix it. So you should try to come up with, first of all, you should try to choose some set of rules. If we talk about Java, let's delay it a bit. So you should, as I said, choose rules to follow. It actually does not matter if you follow some popular coding style, like Google code style or anything. You just have to be consistent with your team, so you have to come up with some rules that will satisfy all of the team members, all the collaborators to the project. So, and don't be afraid to ask other people what do they think about this. Maybe we should add it to the linter rule. And yes, usually you should use a linter, because it will help you to identify the problems you may not have noticed. You write code and just miss something. And linter will help you to automatically fix that and don't care about some major things that you have decided on with your team. Obviously, you should help the people to understand the importance of this. This talk is well, mostly about the team collaboration and coding styles and so on, so you could maintain the project properly. We were talking about Java world, as we've been talking about Node.js world before. There are like two main coding styles. There's Google Code style, which I personally use, but even though I don't like the things that they always use braces, even on one where if can be written in one line, but if you have decided on the rules, you have to follow them. And the other one is Sign Microsystems. It's been like more than 20 years since it's been invented, since it's been updated, I think. But it's still there, and there are people who use it. So there are two main like rules on the market, but there are a lot of projects that uses different set of rules. So the only thing is that you should be consistent with your code. Now, check style is a Java linter. So we have talked about ESLint, so I added it here. So the main reason we use like those rules is for all of the maintainers to be happy and nobody to argue about code and actually write code and not by shading or anything instead of writing code. And there's, as in the previous talk, a bit of copyright thing, as I've used a lot of GIFs from them. Okay, that's the end.